Well, this one's about parenting, and I think my kids will get a real kick out of this because they'll be able to see what I've done with them through life once they see or what I'm talking about. But before I became a parent, it's like I hadn't had any guide, right? It's not like go to school and they talk to you about maths, English, in parenting. It's like, no, you sort of discover it by yourself over time, talking to people and through experience and maybe the odd book that you find somewhere with the help perhaps of someone. So, it's been a fun and amazing experience. And, it's one of the main reasons why I created this series, Life Tips with Steve, so that my kids and future generations could look at this and see someone that they know sharing things like this that could make them smile, be touched, and who knows what other emotions. But with my kids, I just wanted to give insight how I've done it over time and see if any of this helps you. Obviously, when they were young, I did everything for them, me and their mum, and it was just so many loving experiences that happened with them. And but as they grew older, I thought, okay, I've got to help them to better adapt to each stage of their life, And I thought, and I brought on my own experiences, and I thought, what was I like when I was a kid, and as a teenager, and as a young adult, and so on. And so, as I looked at my own experiences, I looked at my kids grow up, and I thought, you know what, this could help them better than I was helped when I was younger. And so, as they got to an age where they could actually help with the chores, yeah, sure, I got them to help with the chores, and I did it in a fun way. I think is made it into a bit of a competition. So whoever was first to get up and saw me when I got up, not they didn't come to my room to wake me up, but when I came out and woke up and walked out to see them, and they saw me wherever it was, they said, "Oh, dibs first!" And what that meant was they are the first one to dib the job or one of the tasks that's going to be done inside the house or around the house that day. And then the next person dibs second and dibs three because I've got three kids. And so yeah, it was a really good fun way. And it's gone from a young age to now when they're 18, 16, and 14. And there's they know that if you dibs first, they get the first choice at the tasks that need to be done around the house and so on, second and third, and then they can dibs. I dibs first for the second job, and then so on and so on and so on. So that's been a really good thing I found that's worked amazingly inside our family. It's been fun. Sometimes they have this to and fro. Oh, but I said it, you've just forgotten, or did they really say dibs first for second, or I think they said dibs first for first, but I actually said the word. They have this little to and fro sometimes, which is quite funny. Uh, but it's a really good way to help them to be responsible for the messes that they're making. It's not just it's not magic how things can just they didn't just clean up by themselves, right? So being able to have a fun way of helping them to take responsibility for their lives as children and now young adults is I found very positive. I don't know if I came up with that idea myself or I heard it, but it's been fun to utilize. And now that they're getting older and they started part time, two of them have started part time jobs. I'm talking to them about arriving on time and reputation and and also the way you carry yourself at your job. And I pop into the jobs because of my role of what I do, and so I will converse with the staff, and they know me, and they also know my children that are working at their particular establishment. So I like to think that my interaction with the staff that they're with is also giving a positive vibe, a positive, helping their reputation and what they're doing. Plus, it's added to their own character and how they are behaving there. And I tell them, be punctual, be considerate, and do your best. And just know that you'll have good employers and not so good employers, and that's okay. When you have a good employer, just be thankful and when you don't, just be mindful. Maybe it's time to move from that particular one. So yeah, I'm always talking to them through my experiences because I want them to not go in blindly to things like I did. It's like they can it's no harm in going blindly into things, but I think there are some things that it's good to just have some background so that you can live better. Even going to and fro from work, I say, you know what, um, when it's nighttime, I'll come pick up. And one of my sons goes, um, oh, this is no problem. Well, why would you do that? It's okay. I say, look, I was a police officer. I know the neighborhood. I know that we've got some people here that can misbehave because there's a university establishment not too far nearby. And when they get into the party atmosphere, you never know what can happen. And then I talk about various things that have happened also um, over time that, nearby, just to be aware of. And I also say, I know what it's like. When I was a teenager, I was invincible too. And so are you, right? You're just invincible, right? You're invincible teenager. But I keep sharing the stories of what's happening in the neighborhood and the different things that, what's, what, just what the neighborhood's like, which is pretty good. I'm just saying that anything can happen anytime, and they call accidents. If people knew that they were going to happen, guess what? They they would prepare. They wouldn't do that thing or go that place, right? So I said, just be aware that all kinds of things can happen, and sometimes they do. And that's all I'm teaching that my children, and that particular son, is just to be aware of um, of what can happen inside life. So that they're just more mindful. I just said just be more mindful, be more aware of your surroundings. That's a good thing. Relationships, my one of my sons got into a relationship this year, and you know he was so happy. It was his first crush, and things were going for a while, but it ended up ending, and it broke his heart. And I shared my experience. I've had many experiences throughout my life of relationships, and I said, what, I know it hurts, and I shared my one or two of my experiences, and I said, I get it, but don't worry, it's not the end of the world as long as you gave your best, and if that's not enough for another person, that's fine. They weren't for you. And I said, I've done that in my life, and I shared that particular experience. I said I gave my best to this particular person, but they were just in a different stage of their life, and they could not receive it, and we could not be together. And that's okay, And I've moved on, and you know what? You'll move on, and you'll be fine. Just just don't shut down and say, oh, I won't do that again. Just go, what did you learn from that experience or experiences, and then just take that into account the next time. You go, you know what, this particular thing I won't do, or I won't allow to happen to me, and in that way you'll be better inside the area of relationship. See, so I'm teaching my kids, even my daughter, my youngest, she's 14, and I say, you know what, look for someone who is that's into things that you're into, that's going to treat you like your dad treats you. I say that because I treat my children with love, care, and kindness, respect. And yes, we have the odd argy bargy because they're growing into young adults, but I treat them with I think I treat them in a really lovely way, right, kids? So, and I said, to my daughter, as I said, look for someone that has the best attributes on me, because I know I don't have all the best ones, but I said, look, the best attributes. And then that way, you're going to find someone that's going to care for you more. So, yeah, so I hope I continue to do that through all my life. This is part of it, doing life tips with Steve. And, hey, you in work life, you're going to work life. These are things to be aware of. Your relationships. Another area I've been talking about is travel. I said, do you want to travel? I'm talking to my older kids. My oldest son, he does want to travel. I said, okay, well, you know what? You can do it. I said, you can do it. Just prepare when you're working, put some money aside for travel. Know that the world is an amazing, amazing place. And when you're younger and you've got no commitments, you're not tied to someone else, then, it's a really, really good time to explore by yourself or with friends that you have as you come out of your school, or inside your workplace. So I said, yeah, that is so great. I said, consider jobs too that may help you around the world. You may be able to work here locally in your own country, but jobs that you may be able to transfer or utilize while you're overseas, like being a plumber, electrician, a builder, a teacher, all these different roles that are there, those roles and more that you could just travel the world while you're working, and maintain a lifestyle that you're happy about. See, so I'm talking to them about their dreams, their visions, relationships, work, personal responsibility, all these things, because I'm helping them the best way I can to be an amazing, wonderful, fulfilling, life inspired adult. So you can do it too. And I encourage you to do your very best with your children, because we're not given a tutorial or a textbook at school and beyond. But you know what? We can take our life experiences and we can help them to be better through them. Hope they help someone. Hope that helps you. And children, if you're watching this, yeah, it's true. This is what I did, right? Yeah. Very funny.